What up guys, KCRC Rock Bouncer here with the Axial 19 Capra kit. I'm here to do a running video. Actually, this is the third time I'm trying to do this video. The last two that I've done out here were at night, but it's just so windy it's hard to hear the audio through the video. So here we go. I'll show you a quick glimpse of, we're on the roadway here, and then we go into this guardrail, and we look up, and there's our garden. Now what I was gonna do is walk down here and start and walk all the way around that corner, which, by the way, from here to here is about 200 yards of rock. It's kind of hard to tell. It's at least 150 yards for sure. But instead, I'm gonna start right here in front of us and go along this side bank and see how that ends up. So let's go. Hope you guys enjoy. Hopefully I keep the rig in the video, because I've got my phone and a selfie stick to hopefully help me keep my shots a little flatter, but it's something I'm not used to doing for sure, so the aiming is going to be a little bit different than what I'm used to with my holding it without anything. Right now I feel like I'm pointing up too high, and I was. So, that'll make it interesting. A little bit about my Capra. Let's see. I got it about a week ago, and here in a couple days it'll be a week ago. They just said it's the kit version. Right off the get-go, I knew the shocks were too long. Not only from just hearing other people's opinions about it, but as soon as I started messing with it, like, yeah, the flex is absolutely insane, and next to none on any other rig, or any other ready-to-run rig. But it is just a little too excessive. So I did run it to at least try it. The vehicle flexed amazingly and stayed well planted, but it's just a little too much, especially once you start incorporating some steep uphills and stuff. It just kind of wasn't helping the rig very much. Like this line's not helping my rig right now. Woo. There we go. So I'm still keeping it in the view. I put some shocks I already had in my shop or in my area, just from my other rigs. I put on some 90mm, or I set them up as 90mm. They can also be set up as 95. But 90mm Pro Spec shocks. Pro line scalar shocks. Pretty happy with how they're doing still. Although I do know for a fact that one of these shocks that I have on here is blown. As soon as I filled it the other day, you could see the oil pushing out the bottom of the body, where the bottom seal is. So that is gonna have to be remedied. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm moving slow anyways, so the dampening effect isn't quite as noticeable as with like my rock bouncers, say. If you're taking sharp hits on a regular basis. I use springs in there from the 110mm version of the Pro Spec shocks. So I think I've got 2 or 3 sets of the 90s. I think I've got 3 or 4 sets of the 110s. Just a great shock, great fucking shock. Yeah, they end up leaking, but all scale shocks do. And you know what? Full size parts don't last forever. You know, for a full size truck. So neither will RC parts. You're gonna have to replace here and there. Woo! There we go, finally. Let's see if we can transition this. There we go. She's having issues today. Now all these lines that I'm doing are new to me. Pretty much every time I come out here, I mean, I very rarely hit something twice, just because of how huge the place is. There we go. Oh, you fat girl. Uh-oh. I let her slide way too far down. First hand of God. I'm gonna go and set it back right there. Get up there. I do not. Yeah, I don't think I said this. I get confused about what I've said now because I've made this video. It feels like so many times. The big function is not engaged. I put the spacer in there. I've got other plans. I don't know if I'm ever going to use the stock jig or not. I doubt it. We're going to take this line, so it should be a little bit easier. There we go. I think the reason why is I don't want to mess with that little micro servo, for one. And two, I don't like that it doesn't have an open wheel function. It's only a 2-step dig, I guess you could say. Because it has locked, where you got 4-wheel drive, and then it locks the rear so you can dig turn. The problem is sometimes you don't want to dig turn, like a full dig turn where you're locking the rear. You want to just be able to unlock the rear and let it free spin, so that way you can just drive around in front wheel drive with a lot less drag and a lot less just wear and tear on your drivetrain, a lot less stress. And you'll still be able to drive, you know, still be able to get around relatively easily. Now granted, as soon as you get to an obstacle or something like that, you're typically going to have to re-engage your 4-wheel drive. But like last time I was here trying to do this video, or I think last night I was just running down the street from my house, and I went on a steep downhill, but there was a little ledge in front of my tires at the bottom of the downhill, like, and I could tell that the front tires were having a hard time getting up over it because the rear was pushing the front so hard into the downhill. Kind of a little like this, but yeah, a little bit, but not it. Last night was more drastic than that was. So looks like we're starting to get in a little bit choppy or rock here. So let's see, electronics. I think it's a Savix 1231 SG for my servo, my steering servo, which is pushing like 444 ounces at 6 volts. Now it's a plastic case, and usually I might take a little issue with that because I tend to break plastic cases, but I'm not rock bouncing, so I'm not worried about breaking this case. If I were rock bouncing, then that would be a different story. Okay, we're gonna try and make this turn here. So you guys can get some feeling for what's going on with the obstacle. This thing's just fun. Just fun. The speed control in it right now is the equivalent to an AE5L, but it's the new Dynamite version. Since Horizon Hobby took over Axial, they did a couple rebrandings on certain things, but it's the exact same thing. I think the case is even the same, except for just the logo. Hold up, wait a minute before I get my turkey stuck up in it.